Alright, made it back with another video. Hope everybody's doing well. We're already at the end of March. This year is kind of flying by. So I thought I'd do another one of my favorite strange things until I come up with some other videos to do. And there's only 2 or 3 others that I really like besides these snow white albinos, which are also called platinum albinos, and probably some other stuff. So this is a tank of breeders. It's only it's 4 males and 2 females at this point, but I'm going to add a couple of more females. So there are some issues with this line. One is they really like to eat their fry, and 2 is they really like to eat their fry. But the second issue really is that as they age, like you can kind of see it in this one, a little bit of yellow kind of creeps into the tail. These were grown out and selected because they don't have the yellow, but I did see a little bit of yellow in one of these guys, and this one has, it's not a black spot on it. It's just a spot with no color, I think. So anyway, these are really gorgeous fish, and the females are obviously hit. I have had fry from these. I have to be really fast getting the fry out because they go after them pretty quick. But you can see that they have the platinum gene in them, besides the fact that it's like a platinum white. You can kind of see at the head and body area there's a lot of real shiny white. So these are very cool fish because they do look better in person than they actually do on camera. And I don't know why that is, except it's really kind of like a fluorescent white, the color, and you see it better in person than you do on the way it gets picked up in the camera. So there was probably a way to say that with less words, but obviously I screwed that up. So cool fish. I'll show some of the other breeders. I'll also show a tank of ones I've grown out that I was going to be selling hopefully soon. And this female might actually be close to having fry. Usually when they pump their pec fins like that and hide in the plants, they're kind of thinking about making a family. So we'll see what happens there, but definitely beautiful fish, and I'll show some of the other tanks next. And where would a rat with a toothache go? The rodentist. The rodentist. That's awful. But it's a nice fish. So there you go. Alright, now this is a tank of breeders. It's in a 10-gallon tank. Hopefully they'll come close enough so you can actually see them. Otherwise I'll have to put them in a smaller photo type tank. But they almost have like a bluish tint at some points in their life, which is interesting because there's nothing really blue about them. And once again, the plants are a thin leaf water sprite, and the plants are really needed, or some other method of baby saving for these this strain, because like most albinos, they really go after their fry. So somewhere in there I have some males, and that's one right there. He's got a little nick at the bottom of the tail. I'm gonna have to check that out. He may have to be removed. But this is a backup. I don't like that part of the tail ray hanging off. Alright, he's getting a vacation somewhere else. But this is a tank of backup breeders, not bank-up breeders. So it's just in case the other tanks of breeders fail. Basically like an emergency thing. So I can get a better look at the nicer looking one, who is very shy, and he won't stay on camera. So I'll probably move on to another tank of them. And with this tank I'm getting to, you'll see that I just switched out the breeders, the males, because I had a few males that started to get some color issues I didn't like, so I pulled them out and replaced them with younger males. So that would be these guys and gals. A couple of females in here that are really close to dropping fry as I show a male. But you can see excellent fins on these fish. Color is great. Body shape and size is pretty good. This is a very young one. It's about 5 months old. And somewhere there was a female, that might be that one, that was about to drop some fry. Yeah, I think it's that one. She's not too far off from having a nice batch of fry. So that'll help. Because I only have a few fry growing out. So that's why I keep so many breeders. Because you never know when they're going to get to the fry before I can. And trying to get a close-up on this guy. So you can see there's no blue coloration in him at all. It's just completely white. And like I said, they're great fish. They're definitely different than what used to be called an albino pastel years ago. Like an IFGA breeder had them. Very, very nice fish. But it's not the same. I think his may have come out of some other kind of a line. These were obviously bred to get to this bright white, and obviously from what I've found they seem to have some yellow in the background, because that comes through, and sadly it comes through a little late. Like these males look perfect at this point, but in 2 months I may see some yellow develop in the back of that tail, or I've had some get a streak, actual stripe of yellow. Kind of cool. But let me move on to another tank. This is a tank of ones I was going to start selling if the post office cooperates and the weather just warms up a little bit more. But what I did is I pulled out a few males that I didn't like the way they were looking. They were starting to get a little bit, I thought, yellow in them. And I'm trying to sell them as a snow white albino, a pure strain, even though, like I said, some people sell these as just white platinum or platinum albino, something like that. But these are definitely different than prior pastels that you've seen in the past. And very happy with these. I have had some fry in this tank, which I netted out. So at least I know these fish are viable, which I try to make sure before I sell anything, because I don't want people to get stuck with fish that don't breed. Imagine that, somebody that cares about what you buy. So nice fish. I just fed them some of my high protein food, and no brine shrimp for them today. My brine shrimp hatch crashed, which happens once in a while, and it's how I came up with the high protein food as a suitable replacement. So what do you call an old snowman? Water! Water! Oh! That's actually not too bad for a terrible joke. Alright, that's one of the nicer males. Very nice. So anyway, if you have any questions, you let me know. And I'm going to show one more tank, small tank, and these will be the males that I culled out of the prior tank I just showed, because they started to get some, what I thought were some color issues. So I'll be right back with that, and that will wrap up the video. Alright, now I'll try to get close enough to these wonderful guys so you can see the reasons why I culled them. Ones like that are pretty obvious. There's a yellow blob in the tail, same with that one. But they do have great fin shape, nice body shape, and this one I culled because the tail was looking a little ragged. Now this one you can also see some yellow in the body. So now the bad thing is that happens later on in life for these guys. I guess it's just the total development of their color at some point. So cool looking fish. If the culls are going to be this bad, I can kind of live with that. And this one's actually nicer than I thought. Another one had like a white dot inside the yellow, which is kind of weird. So now the reason why I kept these, besides showing them for the video, is because if there were IFGA shows, these would qualify as albino AOC, which is albino all other colors or any other color. And they're nice enough to compete because the color doesn't really matter, and they just have to be albino and any other color. So they could have pink in the tail, they could have orange, yellow, it doesn't matter. It would be body size, fin shape, etc., etc. So that's kind of the plan with these. These are pretty darn nice for culls, but I don't want them hitting the females, so I'm just going to grow them out in their own tank and let them live out their life. I'm not going to feed them to anything or bump them off. I would try to sell them with a couple of females to people, and to put it as like a grade B or cull or something. But these are older, and I think they're 7-8 months old. I wouldn't sell older fish to anyone, and really unless they actually ask for it, because they won't live too long. The shipping stress is too much sometimes, but definitely cool fish. So one last thing I'll show, that's the high protein food. It's got a mixture of a bunch of stuff in there with an awesome label I had made, and everybody that orders the high protein food gets a little sample bag with mixed flake in it. And then I just got these magnets. They're actually labels on a magnet. Pretty cool. So I'm making them myself, except I ordered these are vinyl stickers. And that's my thumb. And that's obviously the intense red. Actually, they were called the Superior Red Albinos from ATFG, but they were the ones I raised. So anyway, so they get a free magnet and a free sample bag, small bag of flake foods. It's a various flake, and that's what the food looks like. Very, very good. The fish love it, and it's a suitable replacement for me for if the brine shrimp hatch crashes. So if you have any questions, let me know. I put my email address in the description of all the videos. You just have to click on where it says show more, and I'll be back with another video in a couple of days. And thank you so much for watching, and I really appreciate it, and take care.